Marvel is back again to hopefully give us an captivating story as they're throwing it all the way back to 1940s with the rise of Hydra. So that's basically what this whole segment is about. Basically, Captain America, Black Panther, the video game. The setting matters because, of course, Captain America is one of those characters where he was very prevalent in the old timeline as far as back in the old days and the current day because he was put on ice. So how do you tie that in as far as a throwback video game with another superhero? You use another character that has longevity as far as the whole Black Panther mantra is considered. Because if you don't know, that's passed down the family tree as far as the next person who's next up as far as the son. So with that being said, it's very interesting, right? 1940s and black people. If you had the question asked to you, would you rather go 10 years into the future or 10 years into the past, you was probably asked that question by a white man. Like the person who asked that question was probably white. Because let me tell you something. As a black man, as a black woman, there's no black human that would want to go in the past because of the horrific things that was done to the African American community. Now, with that out the way, don't want to make it too morbid, you know what I'm saying? But it is set in the 1940s. So I was like, why not throw a little 1940 fact at you? Because it's definitely not going to be in this video game. Like, I love when video games, especially companies, they have 1940 games with black people in it, but they don't really show the real of what went down back in the day. Like, imagine if Captain America just came out and said a hard ER when talking about the black soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better go get that. Hey, like somebody mess up in a mission. He's like, man, you always messing up stuff. And then it reminds me of that RDC World meme where he's like, what'd you say? I ain't say nothing, but you know what I mean? It's one of those type videos where it's just like, obviously we're not going to get an accurate representation of what it was like in the past towards black people, but nor should we also put a spotlight on things that is entertainment and things that's like a biopic, if that makes sense. So this is obviously purely for entertainment. So the accurate reflection of how America was back in the 1940s, I guess we can put it to the side for now. So anyways, with that out the way, because you know I had to get that off. I mean, any game that's set in the 1940s and that has black people in it, hey, somebody got to see it. So anyways, set in 1943, Paris during the Nazi occupation, of course, and it's a spin off of the World War II narrative, and it's one of those to where the gamer will be controlling characters like Captain America, Black Panther, but the thing with Black Panther, you know, it's passed down the family tree, so this is the grandfather of of T'Challa, the Black Panther that we're used to. So this is the grandfather Black Panther. And then, of course, we have Wakanda Spy, which is Gabriel Jones and Nanali. I think that's how you say it. And apparently there's Howard Stark in it, which is Tony Stark's dad, of course. And then there's the Winter Soldier, apparently supposed to be in this video game. But basically, this showcase, this right here, also Analytic Dreamz video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio. But basically, it gives you a glimpse on how the graphics are going to look. Because if you don't know, this game is developed by Skydance New Media. And with that being said, I have faith in them because the way that they put this teaser trailer out, you would have thought this was a full-blown Disney Plus show or movie that was coming out. But no, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually a video game. So the graphics are on 10, and it's one of those to where at this point, I'm just thinking that it was one of those timeline scenarios where they couldn't make a show or movie like this fit in the original MCU timeline, so they just gave it to a video game developing studio as an idea to develop, right? So develop it, they have, as Skydance New Media showing so much promise with this teaser trailer that we're going to get into in full in its entirety. So make sure to click type Analytic Dreamz video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio. But this is basically providing an overview of how the game will look. Didn't get into any gameplay, but as far as the graphics, you see it's amazing, as you can see right here. Develop using Unreal Engine 5.4, I think it's 5.4, basically offering realistic environments and character animation. And the thing about that is very interesting, because for gaming studios to offer realism in a video game, it lets you know that the budget is tremendous. It's exponentially high, so that means the return on investment have to be at least 2 times that, because realism in video games makes the budget skyrocket. That is why most Nintendo consoles sell at a profit versus a PS5 or Xbox Series X, because of games like The Last of Us, because of games like Starfield, because of games like Spider-Man, God of War. The realism aspect makes the budget skyrocket to the point where now your return on investment isn't that much, which is why we see all of these layoffs. Even though Nintendo does have their layoffs, obviously we've seen way more in the PlayStation and Xbox side of things. So when we're getting into that aspect, you know they're going to put a significant amount into the marketing budget, because boy, are they wanting this to sell. Like, there's no way they'll put this much realism into the graphics if they didn't think people would go out into the stores and buy it. So with this being the best of both worlds, as it being a Black Panther game and a Captain America game, I would assume this would be a heavy stealth-like game. Now, when in the superhero genre, stealth isn't the biggest thing you probably want to hear coming from a gameplay mechanic, but if these are espionage type missions with the main character being Black Panther and Captain America, I would assume and I would hope that we have some type of advanced gameplay mechanic when it comes to stealth. Now, does it have to be a Splinter Cell? Does it have to be, what other game? I don't know too many stealth games nowadays, because they really don't. Honestly, stealth games don't sell well. Like, there's a reason why we haven't had a Splinter Cell game in so long. But anyways, hopefully it has a significant amount of stealth, because these are espionage missions. Like, it would be different to see Black Panther and Captain America just running through whole tanks and armies like it was nothing, right? You would think they had some type of limitations when it came to their powers. I mean, if one thing that Wonder Woman, the movie, the first movie, not the second, because that was horrendous, but the first movie, if it was one thing that movie showed us, is that even though you're a superhero in war, you still need some type of tactical approach. You can't just run in and just beat everybody up. So that's why I bring that up as far as having advanced stealth gameplay mechanics in this game. So when getting into the cast and characters, we have a talented cast, of course, as Carrie Payton is playing Azzurri, Drew Moreland is playing Captain America, Joel Johnstone is playing Howard Stark, and I think it's basically it. I don't think I missed anybody. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think I missed anybody. So, what else? There's some other things. Obviously, we're going to get into the trailer, but I want to get into some more things first. So it's scheduled to release in 2025. Obviously, people are foreshadowing that the Winter Soldier will come into the midst. People are having rumors that maybe Wolverine may pop up, which I highly doubt if a high A-list character like Wolverine will pop up. But, I guess there's he is a longevity type character as well. And it's one of those things to where they could showcase him as being a significant part of a mission, but we never know. So, what else? And also, if you're confused by the video you're seeing right here, they're showing off the graphics. So that's why it's weird animation. Well, not animation, but weird stopping points and long pauses. They're basically talking about, this is a whole showcase that you can look up yourself. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra full presentation. So anyways, that's basically all I wanted to cover. I think I got into everything. With this being developed by Skydance New Media in collaboration with, these are the actors right here. So Drew Moreland playing Captain America, and then Carrie Payton, which is funny because they're literally the face models for the characters. Like usually, sometimes I feel like the people who voice characters, like it doesn't always look like them because of reasons. Like maybe you want it to look like closer to a certain callback to wherever that game is set. But it seems like that they went like legit face models off of these people. So these people are like low-key actors. Like these are little like actors into the video game. I wonder how that works as far as like movie, TV shows, and video games. Like if you use my likeness, my entire likeness, like my voice, my face, at that point, like goodness, like you basically in a movie. So anyways, because there's so many voice actors that, you know, the character they're voicing looks nothing like them because they're only voice acting. So it's interesting to see them being just full-blown models of the characters that are actually voice acting for. So anyways, let's get into a teaser trailer because that is the main thing I wanted to get into. So I may pause it a little bit, obviously probably not too much because it's pretty self-explanatory and the trailer is fire, so I don't want to step on the trailer too much. But anyways, let's get into Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra story trailer right now.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy. By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
I'll be there before the sun rises. Before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, look at these face models. Like, goodness. Like, it literally looks like a TV show or movie. And this is a video game.
The sun rises. Before the Germans.
Like, this looks so real. Like, imagine the budget for funding these type of graphics. That's what I'm saying. Like, the return on investment has to be there, and best believe they're gonna market this to the upteenth degree. Like, I think they said 2025 for a reason. They're gonna keep marketing this video game until some statistic comes back and say we're gonna get a 2-time return on our investment, because I don't think it's hard for me to believe they're gonna let this game flop. It's almost like CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk. Those graphics were so out of this world during that time that I believe that's the reason they kept going back and putting updates, DLC, patches, to the point where people was like, you know what, this was a great game. Like, I think that's how Skydance is going to treat this game, because there's no way you can let a budget like this fail, because these graphics are ridiculous.
Before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful, stand me.
When am I not?
It's better.
And that's what makes me believe that they have to have is like advanced stealth gameplay mechanics in this game, because look at this. Like, obviously that's a stealth takedown, and then that's a double stealth takedown, and it seems like he came from the rooftop. So I wouldn't be surprised if the gameplay loop is basically going from camp to camp, taking people out in stealthy ways, right? So I think that's the most important factor in the gameplay loop is the stealth mechanic fire? I would say Batman Arkham is one of those where the stealth mechanic was perfected in the superhero game. They need to heavily borrow from that. Like a lot of people are comparing this game to Insomniac Spider-Man, talking about like what they can, gain or what they can pull from that video game as far as mechanics. I think it's very little. The game you need to look at is Splinter Cell and Batman Arkham as far as stealth mechanics and how to make stealth fun in the game. Because whether or not Splinter Cell had great sales is debatable. But what is to be said and to be stated is that Splinter Cell has some of the best stealth mechanics I've ever seen in a video game. So that's what I would say. Definitely needs to be heavy emphasis on stealth in this game.
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem. Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone!
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
Hey, that's fire. That's complete fire. The only thing about this is that it's a video game, so that you have to keep in mind that the gameplay loop has to be superior, because no matter how great the story is, the gameplay loop has to be there. So that's the only hesitancy I have in championing this game, because by the looks of it, story and graphics are already amazing. The gameplay loop has to be, I would say it could be just a 7 out of 10. It just can't be atrocious. Like if it comes out and it's a 4 out of 10, people like, oh, it's janky, can't get from this to that without it crashing. Like that's what's gonna ruin this game. Gameplay loop has to be not even perfect. Like I said, 7 out of 10 is where they can literally slip to. But anything below that, and people are gonna clown this game to the moon and back. But also, like I kept reiterating, but throughout this entire segment, stealth mechanics have to be a heavy emphasis for the gameplay loop, solely based off the setting and how they're going about the missions. I mean, it's based in World War II, so it's not like you're gonna win the World War just by beating everything up and jumping from camp to camp. Like hopefully it's more stealth aspect. But what else? Yeah, so that's basically it. Release date window set for 2025. The setting for the actual game is set in 1943, Paris, mind you, during Nazi occupation, and it's a spin off of the World War II narrative. Main characters are Captain America and Black Panther. So if that's not fire, if that doesn't intrigue you, when it comes to Marvel, I don't know what else will. So anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra? And also, what are you most looking forward to when this video game eventually comes out?